Everyone, we're watching our next Arctic front. It will be delivering some very cold air over the next couple of days, so much so that for tomorrow's date, the high temperature may be the coldest on record. We're talking about it being below 25 degrees. So we'll be watching that closely, but the front will sweep through today. The winds behind this front over the warmer waters of Lake Michigan are going to kick off some lake effect snow potential for us. We'll talk about that and how it may give us some travel concerns over the next couple of days in just a few minutes. But look at the single-digit numbers out across the upper plain states. Minnesota, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, all in the single digits this morning, even Marquette falling to 9. That's the cold air that's on the way. It's just now making it onshore from Lake Michigan, and it'll steadily progress east throughout the rest of the day today, and that's what's going to allow temperatures to drop as we go from this morning into the afternoon. So we're starting out near 30 now, later today only into the mid-20s, but we drop into the teens. I think Futurecast keeping some of us a little too warm. We're looking at 18 to 22 degrees for the overnight lows tonight, with teens down south, 20s up north, a little bit of colder air making it around Lake Michigan and in the southern sections of the peninsula. That's why we'll see some colder temperatures south as compared to north, but we're all staying chilly tomorrow. Again, the record cold high temperature is around 25 degrees for both the Tri-Cities and Flint, and I'm forecasting 23 degrees in a lot of these areas. So potentially seeing the coldest high on record for tomorrow's date. And it gets even colder from there. But as that cold air moves in over the warmer lake waters, of course, we see the lake effect snow potential. Now, the problem with lake effect snow is it's on such a small scale that computer models struggle with projecting where exactly the heaviest snow bands are going to be. So we know they're coming, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly where they are going to set up. So here's the projection from Futurecast today. Notice most of the snow staying west of the 127 corridor, but as we go into this evening, it starts to move a bit more towards the east, and it looks like right now the setup would favor I-69 down to the I-95 corridor, I-94 corridor, I should say, to pick up the bigger snow potential. So we could see a couple of inches of snow from Shiawassee into Genesee and Lapeer counties, as opposed to areas around the Tri-Cities that may pick up a little less. But as we go into the overnight hours and into Tuesday, notice those snow bands make it all the way up north to Lake Huron. Still a little bit of a dry slot in some sections of the thumb, but even here throughout your Tuesday, I think we will pick up some widespread snow showers. Some of them will be intense. We're looking at a lot of instability over Lake Michigan. The water temperatures are into the 40s right now over Lake Michigan, but you go up a few thousand feet, temperatures drop to 20 below zero. And that instability is going to create some strong squalls of snow that could produce even a little bit of a rumble of thunder threat out west, but strong enough to make it east over to mid-Michigan. So again, watching for that, watching for the potential for whiteout conditions and the threat for some accumulations that could create some slick roads for us for Tuesday, and also Wednesday will start to warm up a little bit later this week and into the weekend. So the projections for snowfall, a general 1 to 3 inches for most of mid-Michigan. Higher totals will be favored for the 127 corridor, where we're looking at 3 to perhaps as much as 6 inches of snow. But you see the plus sign behind these numbers. We could see those snow bands giving us a little bit more of a threat. Again, really hard to pinpoint where those bands are going to be, but if one sets up over I-69 for 2 hours, we could pick up 2 to 3 inches of snow from that band alone. So that's the setup that we're watching as we go into the next couple of days. And the National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids and also Gaylord has advisories for those of you west of mid-Michigan, but the 127 corridor, we're under a winter weather advisory beginning this afternoon and going until 9 p.m. Tuesday. It may even be extended into Wednesday as the lake effect snow continues. A lot to talk about, right? So stay tuned with us. We'll be looking at 25 again to recap your forecast today after setting up about 30 degrees this morning. And then as we go into the next 7 days, we'll look for the potential for records to fall tomorrow. Overnight lows into the teens, afternoon highs struggling to get out of the teens into the low 20s. Wind chills tomorrow will be as low as 0 at times. And then we'll start to see things quieting down from Thursday into Friday before our next storm system